Hi there and welcome. It's Larry with Ask the Experts Food Edition. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to have a conversation today with a lovely lady sitting across from me whose name is Anne-Marie. Hi, Anne-Marie. Welcome to Ask the Experts Food Edition.
Hello, Larry. Thank you for having me here.
Of course. This is going to be kind of interesting because there is a relationship that exists between Roger, who we just talked to recently about food and growing up in the country, and Anne-Marie and I are going to talk about food and growing up in the city. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see how it compares because they are a couple. So I know that you grew up, was it in South Carolina?
No, actually, I grew up in Rochester, New York.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yes.
And for how long did you live there? When did you live?
Well, I still have family who lives there. Mm-hmm. So we lived there in the 60s, then in the 50s and the 60s. Right. Let me go back.
Sure.
I have a very large family, Larry. I am one of 12 children.
Wow.
So we were born, we're bloomer kids, born in the 50s and the first half of the 60s. Right. So that's when we lived in Rochester. Then we did live for a short period in the San Francisco Bay Area for a little while, and then moved back to Rochester after that in the 70s.
So was that all because your dad was
my
transferred or whatever?
He worked for Eastman Kodak, and we did not know why, but we moved out to Los Altos is where we lived. He worked on the space program. It was the Apollo 11 mission.
How neat is that?
And so, of course, this was all top secret. We didn't know this. But
what percentage of people, I wonder, who live in Rochester worked at that time for Eastman Kodak?
So it was, honestly, there were places, there were many different plants around the Rochester area, and one area, Kodak Park, it employed 40,000 people in this one division. Then there were other plants all around Rochester.
Are they still in existence?
No, sadly it's a real shadow. It's still out there, but it's a real shadow.
Is it empty?
Yes, I remember recently driving through Rochester and saying to my family, what is this area? I don't remember any of this. And they said, that's because it used to be Kodak Park, but it was raised.
Oh, wow.
So,
interesting.
A whole, mini city was...
So if you were one of 12, did you have to fight for food?
No. However, there was a term, FHB, which is Family Hold Back. So you might have heard Roger talk about when people came to visit and his mother would say, oh, have a seat. Well, if that happened at our house, my mother would say FHB.
Oh,
and that just meant
less?
We would eat less so that the person visiting would have something to
how
eat.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she got very good at figuring out how to feed 14 people daily.
Well, that's like a restaurant in a way. That's like catering almost.
Yes.
Would she make, like big pots of soup and things like that?
Oh, we were raised on lots of casseroles. We're meat and potato and vegetable family. I mean, that's how I learned to cook a meal. So it was lots of meat, starch, vegetable, or casseroles.
That's funny. I was thinking about that recently because that's the way I grew up too. Meat, starch, and it was called starch.
Yeah.
My mother said, "What's the starch?"
Right.
Right. Not what carbohydrates or what grain you're in, but what's the starch?
What's the starch?
And you don't hear that much anymore. But those three things: a vegetable, a protein, and a starch.
So when Roger and I were first married, and raised our kids, that's how I cooked. And our son loved it. Our daughter liked it. And actually, she cooks a lot that way now, too, but she's a much more adventurous cook than I.
Do you remember being in the kitchen at all with your mom?
So this is an interesting way to look at it. I'm one of the younger kids. So there were 8 girls. So the older sisters were in the kitchen helping my mother.
Right.
The younger ones.
Hands-on.
Yeah, hands-on.
Okay.
And then, so myself and 3 younger sisters, we We set the table. We cleared the table. We did the dishes.
And the boys didn't do anything?
No, they did not.
Really?
Mary. No. But I will say, two of my brothers, or actually three of them, are very good cooks. So
what would so give me an example of one of the casseroles. Can you remember?
Oh gosh, one that I cannot eat today is a tuna noodle casserole. I know, just gives me the
me too.
But that was a standard. She would also make this. She would call it.
So I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you for 1 second. Did you use a can of Campbell's soup for the tuna noodle?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The cream of mushroom or cream of celery,
okay.
whatever.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She would make, what was it called? Quote, beef stroganoff.
Right.
But that was really egg noodles with a ground beef concoction on top of it.
And spices.
And spices. Anything, that where she could stretch to feed all of us. And there were only 4 boys. There were 8 girls. But the boys were big eaters.
Right.
So...
so would there be a family dinner every night?
Every night.
Wow.
Every night. Like I mentioned, my dad worked for Kodak, and he did travel a lot. So... if my dad was at home, we ate around the dinner table. And, big table, put the leaves in,
right.
tablecloth, the whole thing. And then it was family style, so you would take your portion and pass to the left. So the food would just go around the table.
Is there one or two things, anything that you remember specifically that you would have as a kid that you make now?
That I make now? Well...
Yeah, or a variation of it, maybe?
Here's a little secret, Larry. I am not the chef in this family. It is Roger. So what did I make before I went on strike? I would make... cooking really is not my thing. And so it's funny to hear you talk about Ask the Experts, because... I can talk a lot about eating.
Well, I think that's part of it. I mean, my God, I love eating too. So
I know I will make a shepherd's pie for special occasions, like for my son's birthday. And
is that the mashed potato
on the
crust
top
thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never had that before.
Oh, I'll have to make it for you.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
So you usually do a lamb and a ground beef mixture.
Ground lamb?
Yeah.
Ground lamb and ground
It's all ground. Right. I guess it could be shredded, but, Okay. And then vegetables go in there, typically peas and carrots, onions. And there is spices that go in.
Are those cooked before you put it in the oven?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
Oh, well, the ground beef is.
I
yes.
see. Okay.
Everything is cooked before. So this must have been, leftovers. How they made
I'm
like
sure.
a
I'm
leftover
sure.
pie.
It sounds like it.
And then your spices, and then you top it with potatoes, some cheese, and bacon.
Mashed potatoes.
And
so do you usually make them from scratch, or?
Oh, now here I am an expert at making potatoes. I make really great mashed potatoes.
I remember going to a restaurant once in Los Angeles with my boss, and they had on their list of sides 3 or 4 different versions of potatoes: mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, skillet potatoes. And it was one other one. I remember what it was. I ordered one of each one of those. That was my dinner. It was 4 sides of potatoes.
I could do that easily.
And in fact, the other day we were going somewhere. I don't know if I just told the story or not. And they asked me if I wanted a side. What did I want for my side? And one of the choices was mashed potatoes.
Oh, absolutely.
So I picked that immediately. I said, and lots of gravy. And when it came, there was no gravy on the potato. I said, they forgot the gravy. And she came back and she said, we don't have any gravy. And my heart was broken, and so was my stomach.
Well, plus I always have to ask, are they real potatoes?
Yeah.
Because, boy, don't do that. Those dried flakes.
So if you went to, let me think of a place. I mean, if you went to a decent restaurant, not a Denny's, nothing, there's anything wrong with Denny's, but I mean, if you went to like a fancy restaurant and there was mashed potatoes on the menu, you would get it?
That would depend on what I was ordering. A lot of times when we go out, if we're at a nice place, I will order steak because I never cook it. And I will probably tend to overcook things. So
does Roger cook steak?
We don't do a lot of red meat.
Yeah, we don't either.
But we like it. It's not our regular staple. So gosh, steak and mashed potatoes. Wow.
So do the kids get together? All your sisters and brothers get together?
We are very close. Unfortunately, we're spread out, and now when we get together, it's usually weddings or funerals. But there are 10 of us surviving, and
any on the West Coast?
I have 2 brothers out here. The rest are either in Florida, Boston, Chicago, or New York State.
It's so interesting. The lifestyle on the East Coast is so different than lifestyle on the West Coast.
Oh boy!
And I'm sure you've seen. When I would go see my sister in Brooklyn, I would just be amazed by how different the whole cultural aspect of everything. You walk places, you play cards, you go. You just do things differently on the East Coast than you do on the West Coast. But the food is very different too.
It sure is.
The food in the West Coast to me is
so healthy.
It's clean. It's cleaner,
fresh, and the vegetables we have. And the fruit.
I know. We're so lucky, aren't we?
It's amazing, and I couldn't believe the prices of produce here when we moved here 6 years ago. It was amazing that how much you could buy.
I know. And at the farmer's market, I think we're so lucky to have the farmer's market.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of corporate farming these days. Huge farms that have either been bought up by corporations or what. That you can go to a place where you can buy a tomato from somebody that grew that tomato.
Yes. Oh, the farmer's market, where Roger is there weekly. I mean, 8 o'clock when it opens up.
We would go out every week. We slacked off a little bit, but we started up again.
Oh, it's a great place.
It's just fabulous. And I was there a couple weeks ago interviewing some people. There was a lady who has a vegetable farm, and if I'm correct, everybody that runs it and works at the farm has Down syndrome.
Yes, that's
is that right?
Yes, because I buy her. She does planters of succulents.
Yes,
and some of are in like banana bark.
Well, I've never heard the term banana bark.
Either
before.
had I.
Well, what is banana bark?
It is the bark of a banana tree, I guess.
And is it edible?
They cut it so it looks like it's a little vase. They hollow it, they put in whatever, and then they fill it with succulents. And then you take that and you put it in your own planter and leave it in the banana bark because that's going to break down. And so it's a very easy way of making a nice arrangement of succulents.
I had never heard of banana bark, but she was what an interesting woman she was. And they had a lot of vegetables I'd never seen before.
Yes. I like her, and I'm always walking by to see.
Yeah, she was a really interesting woman. Very nice to interview because she had lovely stories to tell about. I mean, they didn't know what farming was like, because they bought that before and had never farmed before. Wow. So, but yeah, you're so right. The vegetables are so unbelievably. I mean, it's easier to eat the vegetables here, I think. Because they're so good and fresh.
They're so fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, you can imagine when you're cooking for that large of a group, it's a lot of frozen vegetables.
I'm sure.
And I love, just being able to have some broccoli and steam it up, and it's great.
I'm just thinking, what if I had to cook for 14 people every day?
And I wonder if that's one of the reasons I'm just not interested in cooking. I'm a good cook. It doesn't bring me joy.
Did she do breakfast and lunch too?
So breakfast, there'd be lots of boxes of cereal on the table, but she would always have, you could have oatmeal or cream of wheat. That was always too. Right. And then, the milk and, of course, the sugar bowl.
And then you made your own mix of whatever you wanted.
Yes. And so that was our breakfast. Lunch, she made lunches for us at school. We all went off with our lunch bag.
And she made those?
Oh, yeah.
Individually?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Because the little parochial schools we went to, it didn't have a cafeteria, so she had to make our...
So it would be peanut butter and jelly and a bag of Fritos and an apple or something.
A bag of Fritos? Are you kidding me? That'd be wonderful.
So it was just a sandwich and an apple or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. And then the milk tray would come in, from school, they would have the milk.
I still have a likeness for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a bag of Fritos.
Oh, Fritos, I love them.
My mother used to give us a little bag of Fritos.
That's nice.
Or Cheetos. In fact, and I grew up in Dallas, and the Frito-Lay company had a plant there. And they did tours. So I don't know if it was with my school or what. We went on a tour, and you got to taste the Frito as it came out of the fryer and dried out.
Oh, I bet it was good.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I bet it was so good.
A fresh-made Frito, I would kill for.
That's probably my favorite chip.
Is it?
Frito chip, yeah.
You know what I've been getting lately is vegetable chips.
Yes.
They've
got a crunch.
Yeah, they do. They're not like a Frito, but
satisfying because it crunches.
In fact, my sister and I were having a conversation because she was telling me, because we both love popcorn.
Oh, my favorite.
I know you love popcorn.
Oh, there's my other expert dish.
Oh, popcorn.
Yes.
But you made popcorn for me once, and it was white. Not a lot of people make white popcorn. Most people make yellow popcorn. But where do you buy that? You get it
at Vaughn's.
Huh.
Yeah.
Jolly Time.
Well, this time I bought Jolly Time. What I made for you was an Orville Redenbach.
Oh, Orville Redenbach.
When I went to the store just yesterday to buy popcorn, I saw that they had the white, and I thought, well, let me try this Jolly Time. See how different it might be.
I made a big bag yesterday. In fact, I bought a big stack of brown paper bags. I put them in the microwave and pop them there. Then I'll add butter or olive oil, salt and pepper. I like pepper.
And it's all in one thing.
Yeah, it's neat. It's great. Well, it was so much fun talking to you because you're so different in terms of like the foods that you ate growing up. It wasn't oysters and goose.
No, ours was very
pretty basic,
very suburban. And I will say, I went on strike cooking when our son was a senior in high school, and so he and Roger took over cooking, and I've never gone back.
And you're happy about that?
I am. I am a baker. I will bake.
So when you went to like college, and you were you away from home when you went to college?
Yeah.
So what did you do for food?
Well, good old ramen was a good thing, I always had to work and pay my way through school. So, cereal, ramen, burrito, frozen burrito, nothing real special.
Yeah, ramen was a good go-to for me too.
Yes, but I will say baking is the one area I do enjoy. It's fun.
Well, I don't know if you know. I heard the conversation I had with Roger, but we talked about the difference in cooking and baking versus cooking on top of the stove. Because when you bake, you have to do it. You have to follow the rules.
You do
a lot more when you're baking.
The chemistry is important.
It is, and there is a lot of chemistry in cooking.
Yes,
actually.
Yes.
So anyway, well, listen. Thank you for taking some time to talk to us. This is Larry from Ask the Experts Food Edition, and we hope to talk to you again soon. Bye now. Bye, Anne-Marie. Thanks.
Bye, Larry. Thank you.